Now it's live. We're live now. Wait for those aliens.
I wasn't talking.
Here come the aliens.
Yay! Someone's been playing X4.
Oh.
You have nothing to fear but clowns themselves.
Oh, every week Start gets to me.
Harriet needs a drink after that.
My name's Terence Helms. I am, as usual, in the Cotswolds. We got Love Dev Barbega back with us.
Cheers.
Hiya, Love Dev.
Hello.
All on the Thatchers. Love it, love it.
Yeah.
How are you, my love?
I'm
All
good.
right, mate,
How are
you've
you?
seen it.
Cheers.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you, Terence?
Remind us where you are in the UK.
I am in sunny Birmingham.
I was going to say, has the sun got to you? Because you're coming off a bit like you've got sunstroke at the moment.
I have.
Great. Mental love death, as always. We've got the fantastic Jonathan Mayer with us.
Hello, darling. How are you?
How's things for you?
Oh, well, I'm all right. You know, my teeth are falling out. I'm aging horribly. The world's on fire. But, no, apart from that, we're toddling on, you know.
And remind us where you
I've
are.
got carrot cake in my mouth. Massage.
Love it. Probably the only people with a bookcase that big in Moss Side. And we got Harriet Dyer back with us. Hello. Show us your can of drink now.
What?
Want to show us your can of drink? Like Love
7
Dev
Up.
did.
7 Up.
Ooh, 7 Up.
I don't drink anymore. It's for the best.
Yeah, I imagine.
I'm alcoholic.
Exactly. And remind us where you are, just down the road from Jonathan. No, you're not.
No. I'm in Sweden today.
Oh,
I mean, the best thing about it is, I like how you take your home comforts everywhere you travel.
I'm a woman of routine.
Yeah, and I've also realised that clearly the 14 days quarantine doesn't apply to you when you go from country to country.
Well, because I'm 2 meters apart. More than.
You're
okay, cool. The sun's affecting people today. If you're watching, fantastic. Join us. This is great. You can share the link so we can get more viewers. We're all off our tits. We're either drinking, drunk, or got sunstroke. And this is the all-new Spouting Nonsense, a comedy chat show. We have no idea what the topics will be to chat about. That is all left to chance, like I always do. I never look at the topics before I come on the show, so I can't wait. We've got these three with us. Of course, we start off with our facts first. We've got the facts. Which facts relate to these people, these comedians in front of us? We got fact one. Fact one. Who burnt their neighbour's shed? Is that Love Dev, Jonathan?
I reckon Love Dev.
Who burnt their neighbour's shed? Fact two. Who, as a child, sang solo at the Royal Albert Hall?
I'm supposed to answer now, are you?
I know it's not Harriet because I don't think she's allowed in there. Fact three. Who hobbled away from hospital when told they needed to have their leg put in plaster because they were going to a rave?
It feels like we're down to facts that give ourselves away slightly. These feel
Love Dev, Jonathan.
Hello, Colin.
Hello, Colin. Is it raining up there?
Oh, mate, it's raining here, but it's raining sweat.
He made that happen.
So join us live. Join in with the comments. Jim will put the comments along the bottom. I'll read them out as soon as I can. Who do you think those facts relate to? And of course, just chat to us, ask us questions. We'll answer all the shit you send us. We're going to get on with the first fact. Is one of Love Dev's. Can't wait. If a snake bit itself, would it die from its own venom? Oh, Love Dev.
That's
Tell us
why.
about this.
It's a snake. Black mamba.
Is it?
I think. I don't know. We'll call it a black mamba.
I'm sure that's a derogatory name for a black man's penis.
No,
No,
it's
it's
an
a
incredibly
snake.
racist thing to say, actually.
Yeah.
Now.
Also a cannabis. Fake cannabis.
What?
Black Mamba. You never heard what Black Mamba is?
No.
Fake cannabis. Fake cannabis.
Is it?
Spice, yeah. Mamba. Yeah, Black Mamba.
I wouldn't know that, mate, because I don't dabble
you don't
in
sell it.
drugs,
Okay.
be them real or fake. So, so Love Dev, what do you reckon? Would it die from its own venom?
You know how like a dog normally chases its tail?
Yeah.
So I wondered if a snake chases its own tail out of boredom, and would it accidentally bite it and then inject venom into itself
Good.
and die?
What about if it was a rattlesnake and it's chasing its rattle and then it remembers that a rattlesnake rattles his tail when he's about to attack, so he's after his own tail, then he's rattling it, so he's like, oh my god, the snake's going to attack, not thinking it's him.
Yeah.
And then he attacks himself.
So would it die?
You're just asking the question. You've not got an opinion.
I don't know.
You just don't know.
You
What's
through.
your opinions on
Well,
it relate to other animals as well? Obviously, there's not that many venomous snakes out there. There's a couple of venomous
I'm assuming that most animals are immune to venom they themselves produce from inside their bodies. Well, because they've got to do things like
or
groom
are
or
not stupid enough
have to bite themselves. Yeah, and notice
Unless-
when their teeth go, they go, I won't bite that hard then. Oh.
unless there's a Love Dev equivalent in the snake world.
Yeah,
That would
he's
just
going,
go,
I wonder if I'll die.
There will be the Black Mamba.
Black Mamba.
You look for a black mamba. Harriet, what's your take on this subject?
Well, I didn't even know. Is that why dogs chase their tails with the intention to bite? I didn't even know that that's what it was.
They do bite, don't they? I've seen them bite their own tails.
I think
Black
Yeah,
mamba
they
is
bite their own tails. Or not like bite. They're like,
David,
Right.
you've
Oh,
got
hi, David.
I thought dogs chase their tails because they don't necessarily immediately identify it as part of their own bodies.
I was expecting more from a black mamba, to be fair. I thought it was going to resemble that black dildo in Ann Summers. That's a bit on the small side.
Oh
I like
dear.
that. Oh, hello. So we have got an actual answer to this. If you're joining us at home, I'd imagine this is what we got the answer to. Snakes do not die from their own venom, but they can die from the injury caused by the bite itself. If they eat something poisonous, that can kill them too.
oh, there you go.
Bloody hell.
Immune to their own
Snake
venom.
has like bit someone
Mm.
and then gone, I'll have a celebratory berry from this tree. And then it's just done like a terrible attack. And then, yum, yum, yum with its hand. And then it dies.
Love that. You need
Yeah.
to never ask that question to anybody else ever again. Colin, I wish
Colin.
would be nice.
Colin's
Colin. We're gonna go. I still like that snake. What snake is that behind you? Do you know? Not a black
I'm
mamba.
not sure. It's just a snake in Australia.
Cobra, isn't it?
Snake in
That's
Australia.
It looks like a cobra, but
It
yeah.
does indeed. I don't want to see one of them. It is a cobra.
Thanks,
Oh, yeah. This is like, as much as it's a nonsense show, it's also a learning show. As you're finding as we go on.
This
Every
week-
week we're learning more and more, not only about each other and about you guys at home, but we're learning about shit that Jonathan's telling us about.
It wouldn't be a learning show if Jonathan wasn't here.
That's true.
No, say again, Harriet?
It wouldn't be a learning show if Jonathan wasn't
Oh,
here.
no, it would
brings
not.
class to the show.
My IQ, if Jonathan wasn't here, my IQ would have decreased. I mean, I'd be like sick as shit by now. Harriet,
We didn't ask Jonathan because we said he'd know, and we thought the same thing. Jonathan, do you know who's on Love Dev's t-shirt?
yeah. Don't say call him. Oh
what the words say?
no, that's the word. No.
Who is it?
Okay. It looks like Copernicus or somebody like that. Galileo, Copernicus.
Ah, you got it.
Yes, we thought it was Shakespeare.
No, because it's got stars behind it.
Oh, whatever.
All right, bravo.
Keener. You've been what we bullied at school. Harriet.
Yeah.
If you were a wonderful costume maker.
Oh, this is my question.
Yeah. I stopped for a reason.
Can I just grab a tissue because my nose is running?
We'll grab one a second. I'll read it out. You know the question. Go on, grab a tissue. We don't want to see your snot dripping out your nose.
Yeah,
So Harriet's question was, if you were a wonderful costume maker and alien shrimps took over the world, would you A, make a costume to look the same and blend in, B, run, or C, revolt? Now, I don't know if any of you watch Sewing Bee. I don't think that's been a task on there yet of Sewing Bee. I'd like to see that. I'm just saying, Harriet, about Sewing Bee. I'd like to see that as a task on there. Could you make a shrimp costume for when alien shrimps take over the world and we have to blend in? And then I'd love to see what interpretation. So, Harriet, what would you do? Make a costume, run, or revolt?
Revolt.
Would you?
Yeah. Any excuse to revolt.
I like that. What have you got against shrimps?
Well, I've got to admit with that one, I haven't 100% saw it of myself because it's that film. What's it called? District 9, is it? And then I watched it with my fiance, and he told me that it was a documentary. And then I was like, surely we'd know if they were invading. And I watched it. So I think because of the flashback of that, I'd revolt.
So District 9,
Yeah.
it sounds like quite a normalish film, is about alien shrimps attacking.
Yeah, they
like
invade South Africa, is it?
It's a metaphor for apartheid. Yeah, it's about they're living among us. They're living among us, and it's in South Africa, and it's all about them being mistreated. Yeah, it's not actually about alien shrimp.
Harriet, there you are, just making a fucking joke about apartheid. You just talking about your alien shrimp and making a fucking
God!
I know. Hi, Zoe.
Hi, Zoe.
I'm just thinking now. So they've got alien shrimp in this film.
What?
Is alien shrimp in this film?
District 9.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you
Google
think?
it.
Are they normal shrimp? Do they not look normal, or do they look
No,
different?
they're aliens. I would have said
Oh
normal
my God,
shrimp.
Kerris! Oh my God,
Do they
Kerris!
like?
I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'll put it up.
So Harriet's going to revolt. Love Dev, what are you going to do? Make a costume.
Can
Run
I?
or revolt?
How big are these shrimps? First of all,
Massive.
I'm with you,
Let
Colin.
the aliens into
Oh,
Make
are they
Mary
big?
Rose.
Are they big enough to fit in your mouth?
What? Love them. They're really massive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some of
that's
us
what they
can
look
just
like.
think things come out.
They look like that.
Yeah,
Like a
that's them.
shrimp.
That isn't it.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's the District 9 alien.
yeah. Alien
It's a comic
shrimp.
film.
No, not really.
No.
It's
Yeah,
genuinely.
this is about apartheid. Of course, it's not comedy.
You can fuck right off. We're clearly, when comedy starts up, we're clearly going to be sat in the green room and somebody's going to mention something and we'll be like, I think you're fine. In 1822. Did you know the library in Manchester? So who's in District 9?
Patrick Swayze.
No.
No.
Who's in it?
I
Anybody?
don't know.
You mean you watched it?
Yeah,
but she thought it was a documentary about shrimp.
you can see a lot
To be
of their
fair, right,
faces.
my favourite bits of this question have been two. There's been two bits. The first bit was when Harriet came back to her screen and visibly couldn't understand why she couldn't hear what was going on because she hadn't put her earplugs in. And my other favourite bit is when Keris said about the subject that Harriet has suggested. Well, what would this be about? And Harriet just went, what? Like she had no comprehension of what you were talking about.
Now, I got all excited, and I'm sure Jonathan would have got excited about this as well, because when you mentioned costume, I was thinking, these alien shrimp must look fabulous. And I could see myself in like a big shrimp costume with like and a Swarovski element to it, and some maybe some LED lights built into it. Just salmon and orange and things like that. And then Love Death puts that picture up.
Yeah, it's not working. The colour scheme. But I'm thinking we go down the Bugs Bunny route and make the costume like a sexy lady shrimp. You know, la 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 la. Yeah, exactly. Hubba hubba.
And then they wouldn't leave us alone, and that's not my thing.
Well, no, I think what we should do is we should combine the two. You make a costume of obviously a sexy lady shrimp, and you revolt, but you do it by infiltrating and bringing them down in a sort of Matahari, seductive, come here, alien shrimp, come here, and then stabbing them and covering them in Mary Rose. Yeah, exactly. Mary Rose sauce, eat, move on to the next one.
Yes.
I mean, here we go.
David, I just Googled that and I didn't know. I don't even know who he is.
Well, exactly. After Copley,
made in New Zealand, I think it was.
I need to see this film, I think, because I just can't understand this. But I want them to wear something more fabulous. It's really weird because we've just chatted about 10 minutes about making a costume to become alien shrimp. Jonathan, did you? What were you going to do? We were going to make the costume.
I was going to make a fabulous, sexy Bugs Bunny lady costume. Just use the shrimp, kill the shrimp, Mary Rose sauce, eat.
I can smell barbecue. Anyway, that just means the neighbours are having a barbecue without me.
Imagine if your mum and brother are, so they've waited until you're doing this.
Now they're having a barbecue.
Yeah.
And they're having shrimps.
My mum and son, you mean?
What did I say?
Well, it's very mixed in gossip. It's very mixed.
Sorry, Karen.
That's right. He was in the 18 film. Thank you, David.
Okay.
We're going to go on to one of Jonathan's. If you're watching at home, please share the link so we can get more viewers either now or at a later date. That would be fantastic. You can also donate if you have any money. But the most important thing, like, comment. We'll put your comments along the bottom and I'll read them as soon as I can. Jonathan, one of yours.
Okay.
Would you rather explore...
The Library of the Week, Keris. Jim, photograph. Thank you. Jim.
What?
Now, Jim.
Jim.
The Library of the Week is, of course, the Abbey Library of St. Gall in Switzerland, the oldest library in the world, built in 719 AD, redecorated in the 18th century. I thank you. Thank you, Jim. You can take it away again.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Most of the books are from the Middle Ages, but there are some supposed to be 1,000 years old.
Really? Have you been in there?
I wish, darling, I wish. No, I haven't.
I love this Library of the Week. Whoever knew coming into this lockdown and losing all our work, we would have a segment on a weekly show called Library of the Week. Now, you don't get this stuff in live comedy. You do not. In fact, Jonathan, I think we should bring it into live comedy. And next time we do a gig,
my library.
We'll be like, Library of the Week, it's not yours. And then say this, and we can all visit them together.
Brilliant.
You each every week you do a gig in the Library of the Week.
Oh, I like it. It'd be only me there.
Yeah. You'd be like, hello. Would you rather? So, Jonathan, would you rather explore space or the ocean?
Okay. Okay. So I was just thinking about this just because I'm desperate to get out and not in the house and just not be here. But I was just thinking, like, okay. So two possibilities. One is that you can do fictional things, and one is that you can't. If you can't travel, if you can only travel like with the technology we possess, then space is going to be really boring because it's far away. It's huge. You can't see anything. It's really bad. So that obviously makes the oceans much more preferable.
It's really weird because you turned what could have been a fun question into a really boring one.
I was trying to be boring.
Oh, bring back the library.
I want to do the oceans. I want to be able to go. I want to do,
Harriet said, "Bring back the library."
yeah.
I'd rather explore the library. Just read about both the ocean and the space.
Look, Jonathan. Look, he's gonna. Oh, I like the fact that you've got that to hand.
all these books, Homer, Shakespeare. What am I actually?
Can you pick up the Doctor Seuss book? So, Jonathan.
Hello.
Space wouldn't be.
No,
I'd love to explore the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean. There we go.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Also, just to see the coral, the whales, and it's beautiful, isn't it? And it's right here, and you can go home for tea and have fish and chips. I'd rather do that.
I'm not a big fan of water, so unless I was in something that was going to stop me from
swimming, you're not going to explore very much if you're swimming. I've got to the Yeah, the idea is you're in some sort of fabulous craft that will take you under the water, like in one of those great films.
Harriet, what would you do, space or ocean?
Wow, a bit like you actually, Keris, because A, I can't swim very well. And B, once I had a nasty accident in the water. I was swimming, got swept out, and then someone with what are they called? Fucking come down with a hang glider, fucking landed on my head.
Really?
My head has seen some things, I tell you.
That sounds like you were drowning in the water, and some big bird, like a hawk or an eagle,
man in a parachute.
You up out of the water.
What was hang glider? Were they trying to rescue you, or were they just landing on you by accident?
Just landing because they jump off cliffs by where the beach, by where the sea was.
And they were just shit.
Yeah, landed. But there was a whole sea full of people. And they fucking landed on my head, of course. But another time,
were you wearing
Hang on. She's got another one. A seagull.
Sorry.
What?
Flew into my head, knocked me unconscious.
What?
Yeah, seagull. Into
Mate.
my head.
Mate, we all have birds on our head. Do you know what I mean? You're not a one-off there. That time that owl tried to shag my head.
What?
No, stop it.
An owl tried to shag you on the head?
What?
Yeah.
I said, if a bird poos on your head.
Owl.
It was actually an eagle owl with a 6-foot wingspan.
Wow, you're gonna have to say yes, aren't you?
Keris, have I seen this on video?
Yes.
Oh my god, I think I remember this.
You want to see it? I will try and find it now. So Harriet, what are you saying? Ocean or space?
Sounds like
I have heard that we don't actually know all the creatures that are in the ocean. So I would like to see, because I saw this.
So we know all the creatures that are in space.
We met them all.
There might not be creatures. Oh, shrimp aliens!
Oh,
Shrimp
look at
aliens.
that! Jonathan and Giles Brandreth should team up with a duo. I love Giles Brandreth. Do a tour of libraries of the Eastern Bloc.
Giles. But is Giles Brandreth the one on Celebrity Gogglebox?
I'm going to go with no, but I don't know. Jumpers.
He is very good. So we've seen we know all the creatures in space. So you'd like to find the missing ones. We've got a really good comment. that sounds like that could come from Harriet, and we wouldn't be like.
I do know, Zoe.
Oh well, there you go.
Did you know the raccoon?
It's probably your fault.
Did you know the raccoon? You sent the raccoon. He was attacked to assassinate.
So Jonathan is ocean, Harriet's ocean. I mean, love Dev. I mean, I don't want to think you're giving me clues with what you're going to go for,
But there is a but. I would love to explore space, but apparently, according to Google, we've only discovered 5% of the ocean. Only 5%
this week. What's going on here?
Discovered the ocean. And the other day, I was watching Discovery, and there was a documentary about mermaids. So
a documentary about mermaids.
Yeah, you know,
when you say documentary, do you mean about the history of the legend?
TV show.
And here we see the mermaids swimming past.
interviewing mermaids.
Alternatively, it was actually The Little Mermaid. That's not a documentary.
My answer would be ocean as well.
Oh, what?
Ocean.
Ocean. Okay, that's good.
I've
would be
seen
ocean.
an article. There's an article of just awful sea creatures.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
How do they go, Harriet?
Don't they get cough because they've just taken a load of seawater?
Here we go. Look, watch this. Hang on, if we can get it up.
What, under the sea?
He's not under the sea.
A randy eagle owl known to locals as Eddie the Eagle swooped
Can't hear
down from the sky and tried to make love to a local woman who was just on her way to take
Is that you?
And it's Terrace's head.
That's the only time in the last 10 years that anybody's tried to have sex with me. Right, we're going to go back to Harriet. If you're watching live at home, please share the link so we can get more viewers. You can also donate, but more importantly, join in and we'll put your comments on the bottom. Harriet, if you could tattoo an internal organ.
This isn't
No,
mine.
that's mine.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
that's
no,
mine.
sorry. Harriet was like, what? No,
I would never say anything that. I would never say anything that
It
peculiar.
could be interchangeable between Harriet and Love Dev, and we wouldn't really know.
I never dream of saying anything so
Obviously, we'd
strange.
know it was one of yours. Love Dev, if you could
Yeah.
tattoo an internal organ, which one would it be, and what would you have on it? Oh, right. Not get a tattoo of an internal organ. You want to. Oh my
You
god.
tattoo. You know, one of your organs, you tattoo it.
So
To what,
you
to
don't
what end?
opened up,
Yeah.
tattooed,
Take the organ
float
out.
up, so you'll ever see it.
Put it back
Oh.
in.
So that when they do the autopsy, you've got
Yeah.
a message.
Harriet did it.
Yeah.
Harriet did it.
I love Dev. Clearly, you've thought about this. So impart us with your
I
wisdom.
would have, very simple, I would have a zigzag down the middle of my heart.
Oh.
Oh, that's nice.
Because I'm very good at hiding my feelings.
Oh. Is Sheila listening to this?
Or shall I just get a line across my liver and it says warning if it goes behind this line? Because alcohol.
Did mermaids give birth or lay eggs on a rock? Who fucking knows? Liver, and it would be an apology.
Apology. Fair. I think that's good.
So you'd have like your
Yeah.
heart
Yeah,
broken
who said
into.
that? Yeah, like Pete said.
No, you can't go to liver now. So you do.
Okay,
like
let's
to-
stick to the
You're
heart.
being serious for a minute there, weren't you, Love Dev?
With the heart, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, poor Sheila. How many times?
Nobody will ever see it. That's the thing.
How many times do you tell Sheila Barbados that you love her
Barbados. Show them Barbados.
Oh, on a birthday.
on her birthday?
Oh my
There.
God.
Dev,
Lucky.
Ooh,
if you tell us that you love us, I hope you're telling bloody Sheila more than you're telling us.
They've been together an ever such a long time.
Too long.
They're quite fresh
Long
in this
getting the tattoo
situation.
done.
Harriet,
would-
now you've had time to think. What internal organ would you have tattooed, and what would you have on it?
I would have, so on my eyeballs, the backs of them, I'd write a word each. Then I'd go like, say if someone I was talking to and I wanted them to go away, I would slap myself on the top of the head, my eyes would roll back, and then it would say, I know. On and they'd be like, and then they run away.
See, that would have been really weird when the hang glider landed on your head, because it would have hit you on the head and you looked up. It would have gone, I know.
I know.
Large intestines saying sorry. There you go, Zoe. I think mine would be
Sorry,
something like that.
Chili.
Oh, sorry. So your eyeballs, lovely. Jonathan.
I think
As much as us three are learning stuff.
if we're gonna do this, let's do it properly. I'm not choosing one. I want all of my internal organs tattooed with a picture of my face, so that if I die and donate my organs, you know where they're from. And one, as a warning, so you can go, yeah, I won't have the liver from that shit. And two, so that people can just be jolly well grateful. Yeah.
That's lovely. And if you have it on your brain, people will be like, I remember him on Spouting Nonsense. He was a genius.
You're assuming they're keeping
the library.
A light bulb on your brain.
My favourite line.
If you're watching this at home, please share the link. That'd be much appreciated. Harriet, every time. What?
What's this one?
Well, you wrote it, mate, and I'm embarrassed to even.
Are you embarrassed?
Every time a great white shark comes.
Oh yeah.
Its mouth opens wide to reveal 1 million in a laminate folder containing postal orders. Would you?
Would you what? Would you wank off a great shark?
You have to make it come. You don't have to wank it off. You just got to make it come.
Yeah, but how do you make it come?
And then you've got to get your arm in its mouth.
I can only bring a horse to water.
I'm going to a horse. Have you seen
so would you?
Let's be honest. Where are the gigs? We haven't been gigging for a while.
Exactly.
Yes. Take me to the ocean. Why else would you think I'm off exploring instead of playing?
So if you were back balling your mega career, you wouldn't think about it. You would be like, nah, I'm down that pub in the I'm down that pub doing the gig in the back room while a quiz is going on. That million pounds doesn't appeal to me at this moment in time.
You could double up. So you do Spiky Mike gig early evening and then off to the seaside to close.
That you making a shark come earns you more than a Spiky Mike gig. I like the fact as well that it's postal orders.
Yeah.
Payment currency, I think.
No, because you couldn't fit £1 million in a shark's mouth, so I thought be clever about this.
You could get a check in there.
Think sensibly.
It's not $1 million in pound coins.
Not very bright there, Kerry.
So Harriet would at this moment in time, and how would you do it, Harriet?
Well, what I do is I've got what you don't know is in there.
Where's this going?
She's even got one of those pointy sticks to demonstrate where it is.
In the fin, you do a special technique where you.
How do you know
that? Thank you very much. Postal order for me.
Pete's got something. I don't know what it means.
Yes, exactly. No, cloaca is a combination of anus and reproductive organs that the fish have. They don't have penises and vaginas. They have a cloaca, which is the same channel into the body.
That's what I
said. True story. I have to rub the ass.
Mom, you're a big fat cloaca. Anyway, so Harriet's got her own technique. That's very good. Jonathan, firstly, would you?
No. I'm not. See, if a great white shark looking like that came to me with £1 million of something in its mouth, going, "Here you are," I wouldn't put my arm in to get the folder. So I'm certainly not going to wank the bastard off before I get the chance. No, spit it out, or I'm not taking it.
Love Dev, what would you do?
I would. I'd be scared.
Yeah.
Straight in the deep.
How would you, Love Dev?
Do sharks have blowholes?
No, they're not mammals.
Don't know.
You have no.
rub my knob on it on the head of its head.
Wait. Blowhole is a breathing thing. It's not going to make it come anyway, is it? If you rub a dolphin's blowhole, it's like you get a blow. That's not how that works.
I can't. Can you imagine somebody coming to this that has never watched it ever before?
Yeah, you're just tuned in now.
They would be
Animal
like,
rights people.
I need
Rub it,
to
rub on it.
or take some tablets or something. I don't know what's going to happen there. So 2 would, 1 wouldn't. There we go. And Harriet has offered the technique, and we've all learned a new word. There we go. If you're watching this at home, please share the link so we can get more viewers to this. So back to Jonathan. Let's take it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Take it back to what's the worst job you've ever had?
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of calm us down though. I'm not wanking off a shark. Yeah, that actually. Although that was the worst job I ever had. Wanking off a shark in a shark breeding program. It was a nightmare.
Wanking off a dog.
Shark. It was.
There you go.
What we've just done to.
Oh, come on! Yeah, Jonathan.
My worst job was being a kitchen porter on the army base at League near Stafford, where I was sent by the unemployment people in like 1990s, and it was a horror 1862. It's fucking horrible. I was about 21, and all the other lads working in the kitchen were like 16, so they were like children, and it was a horrible job. We started at 5 in the morning, and then almost didn't have a break. Well, fucking, you should be smacked. It's basically slave labour. Got paid fuck all. Got gypped. And the worst was there was this full-time soldier who kept coming into our bedroom late at night, bullying the 6. Yeah, he was definitely a closet case. He was so a closet case. He was really rapey and creepy. It was terrifying because he used to come with his gun on his back and like chuck them out of bed and stuff like that. And the only time he stopped doing it was because I was at university. He came in and was like trying to bully me. And I'm like, I'm genuinely shitting myself. But he picks up one of my books from university and went,
was it Dr. Hughes?
No, it wasn't. It was Homer. And he went, I'll borrow a book from you, shall I? Borrow a book. And I thought, well, I can't argue. I went, all right then. And he went, oh, the fuck's this? I said, it's ancient Greek, dear. Do you speak ancient Greek? I thought, I'm going to die now. But I left. Yeah, worst job in the world. Awful.
Oh, how long were you there for?
Very little time. I just went, you know what, fuck this shit. Yeah, those boys were trapped though because they'd left school. But we were like, it was horrible. Yeah, I was only there for the summer holidays anyway. But yeah, I wasn't there very long.
Jim should have sorted that out for you afterwards. Harriet, what's been? I mean, I can't imagine you've had that many jobs. More than a couple of hours. Harriet, what's your worst job?
I think I told you about my worst job was when I used to have to direct cows. Did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
No. Tourist cows. They come up to you and say, "Can you tell us where the clock tower is?" And you go, "Yeah, no problem, Mrs. Cow."
Why does this not surprise me? No, you haven't told us. Please tell us.
Cows putting on a play.
Well.
What
it was someone commented about, and I know he lives in Cornwall, and he sells double glazing, and I was like, did I work with him? Because I once tried to sell double glazing, and on my lunch break, I had the worst sandwich I've ever had in my life. The last bite of my chicken sandwich tasted of fish. Anyway, my worst job.
That's what that was.
Is what?
Shark cum.
Obviously using chicken back off the shark.
Yeah, your first job was it the directing cows?
Yeah. So it was actual cows. You had to get them out of a field into a shed, so then people could come and use the field for car boot.
How do you get them to move then? Don't they use sheep?
How do you get them to move?
When you said direct cows, I thought you meant like, teach them a dance routine. No, come on.
Sachet.
More feeding. Come on, Daisy.
Well, you've got to really have, because they tune into your level, so you can't be like, "Excuse me, can you move?" You go, "No." You've got to really.
Ian,
When
my
I-
first job was double glazing canvasser, not even a salesman, just stood outside a window on wheels trying to hand out leaflets, though it did lead to me freaking out, as one of my customers was an old school teacher I thought was dead. Ian, they probably were.
Yeah.
So Harriet is directing Cows. Love, Deb, what's been your
Before we
worst
get
job?
to mine, I used to walk through a field of cows when I was in Bristol.
Well done, you.
Very scary.
They are
A
scary
lot
now.
of people are scared of cows,
Yeah,
aren't
they're
they?
murderers now.
Especially at
My
night.
mum is. I had to drag her through a field the other day, and she was. I think we've had this conversation. She was adamant she wasn't going to do it, and it was going to take us about 2 hours to walk back the other way. So I just pulled her through, and then found a photo of her 3 years ago, stood next to a cow. She's a lying bitch. Go on, love.
So I mean, I've had a few bad jobs. One of the worst ones I had was data entry. So I used to do on a computer. You know, remember the little coupons you used to get, and the people used to fill in their details.
Yeah.
That's all I did all day.
Oh my god! Did you get RSI?
Genius.
No,
No.
I left though. I
What's
left
that?
Repetitive strain injury.
when you did too
Oh.
much of that.
No.
No.
Office workers. My mother, that means we wanking my dad off too much. That's disgusting. I can't even think what the worst job I ever. I don't think I've got one that's really bad. I've done that. I mean, I've done porn. That's probably it. Anyway.
Why did you not know this, Jonathan?
He doesn't know.
Oh, Jonathan, when you grab yeah, that's probably the worst one. When the
Did you
boss-
enjoy it at all?
when the boss forced me to suck him off. Ian, walk through a border cave. What do you want? A pat? Pat on the back.
Oh my god, they're going for each other.
Some of the jokes here. If you're watching at home, please share the links so we get more views. We've only got a few more minutes left. Let's go for another one of Love Devs if we've got time. If a mother wore a Batman mask to a child's lifetime and took it off when they grew up, would the child freak out?
Yeah.
I wonder.
So imagine you were like that for the rest of your life until you had your child.
Harriet is looking through her chip.
This
Yeah,
reminds
sorry,
me of
what are you doing?
Baghdad.
Is she frozen?
What?
No, she's
Oh,
just
yeah, get your mask.
What mask?
What are you talking about?
look at the screen.
What mask?
Oh, sorry.
Mask.
I can't.
Get your eyes in the mask.
Yes, it's the opposite side to which way.
Oh my god. Down, left, right, up, down, left, right, up.
Hurry up, hurry up.
Oh my god, this has really confused her. This is really confused her.
It's not the opposite for you.
Hurry up, put your eyes in the eye hole. In the eye
All
hole.
you've got to do is
Put
work
your
it
head down, that's it.
Oh,
and move
dear.
your right. Move your head to your right
Anyway.
gently.
Take them
Take
off.
the mask off.
Cry eventually.
You're going to cry eventually.
So the mum's hidden her identity from the child since he was born.
Yeah.
Lovely,
Wearing the
what do you
Batman
think?
mask.
Would it freak out? I don't know what that means. Compare initial?
Worst job you've ever done.
Oh, worse. Oh, David, am I doing a bad job? I don't know whether
No,
I'm doing a bad job or I got total you fucking
Yes,
idiot.
yes, exactly. That's what he means. He doesn't mean you're doing a bad job.
Love, Dan, quickly,
I think definitely a child would freak out. If my mum had a Spider-Man mask on,
Wait,
All-
you're changing the parameters.
well,
Yeah.
same thing, isn't it? My mum's more of a spider woman.
Spider,
I like bats.
bat,
Nobody'd freak out
Catwoman.
Spider-Man.
Days of the Golden Shot. No idea.
No idea what that
That
was.
sounds
I like
really.
how
Random.
but I like how mental the audience are becoming as well. 'Cause I don't think they were this mental in
Yeah,
the-
they're bloody weird. They
Kind of,
are.
hello, and now they're just random nonsense.
So yes, the child would freak out, and how would you rectify that? Would you then want to be adopted if you were that child, and be adopted by a spider or a bat rather than human?
I just wondered how the child would feel. How would you feel? How would you feel if you knew if your mum was, I don't know, Catwoman or something?
I think clearly, but she's just wearing a mask.
Paris.
Clearly, you're going to notice your mother's a nutter before you get to like puberty. So you're going to just grow up knowing. Oh yeah, you really say to your friends in school, "Yeah, I would bring you home, but do you mind if we go to yours? Because you know what my mum's like. She's still in that fucking mask."
Yeah, you'd already be in care. You'd already be in care by this point.
Yeah,
What if you lived in a
child line yourself?
in a house in the middle of nowhere?
What are you doing?
No other people.
I had a tough like you get in the wrong side.
How the fuck
It's the
can you
fucking
get up in there
opposite.
that short? So, Harriet, how do you think the child would react?
Well, if you take the mask off, well, because you'd be like, oh my God, all this time I've actually got a mum. Because if you were a Batman kid, you would have thought your kids had died, your parents had died.
Yeah, you'd be very disappointed. I'd be upset.
But happy, you'd be happy.
No.
No, but wouldn't you freak out?
I don't think you remember what it's like being a teenager.
Seeing mum in a Batman mask. That's the whole thing. And she takes it off, and then you see her face, and you go, how would you react?
Oh, bloody hell.
Like
That's the question. How would you react? It's not.
Teenagers just going to go, fuck off. What do I care? Fuck off. I didn't ask to go on leaving fuck alone. Give me a fucking
anyway.
And also, have you ever seen somebody who's worn a mask for a few hours or something like at a party? What happens to their skin? If they did that for years, she'd be like,
oh my God.
Yeah! Before she goes to bed.
Teenagers go, Mum, you're fucking gross. Fuck off. Leave me alone. Go away.
Yeah. Because there were people at my school when they had a plaster cast and then they dropped Smarties down it, and then when the plaster cast come off, there's just so many like sweets and all sorts and all colours and that, and that's what would happen. Maybe just this no,
like the man in the iron heart.
We're going to end on that scientific outlook on what would happen if you wore a mask for 20 odd years. This is lovely. If you've got. We're going to go back to the facts in a second. If you can share the link, that would be fantastic, so we get more viewers. Ian, I get the feeling love the explained it led to the back game. There you go.
Yeah, that's
great by Ian. If you've got, share the link for us, so we can get more viewers. That would be lovely. Donate. That'd be fantastic. We're going to go back to the facts to see which fact. Oh, thanks, David. Which fact related to? So we had fact 1: who burnt the neighbour's shed? I'm trying to look at these all together. I'm thinking Jonathan. He hates his neighbours. If you're watching,
they've been drilling all fucking week.
It probably wasn't even the shed. It's probably the fucking house. Who was this one? Fact: who burnt the neighbour's shed? Love.
Yeah, I did it. I got a
I
bleeding.
said that.
Definitely love Dev.
Yeah, there's a lad named Graham, and he made me do it. He said, "Do it, man. Do it, man." Just
was it his shed?
The shed, we put the whole shed.
Was there somebody in the shed?
I hope not.
That's a very different crime.
When was it?
Yeah.
It was when I was a child. It was a trauma after I saw my mum, her real face.
Define arson. Two. Who, as a child, sang solo at the Royal Albert Hall? Well, I'm thinking out of these two here, it's got to be Jonathan. I thought he'd been thrown a curveball, and I thought Love Dev was going to say this was his. Jonathan,
that would be amazing, wouldn't it? I would love that to have been Love Dev. Yeah, it was me. Yeah, I like a little choir boy in a rough. I sang, "Oh, for the wings, oh, for the wings of a dove." Yeah.
So you were in a church choir?
Well, I was in a cathedral choir and a church choir, but this was just on my own. I was. It was the national gang show for the Scouts Association, and they had this big concert at the Albert Hall, and I auditioned and went in on my little own. I got introduced by Keith Chegwin and Maggie Philbin, and I went in with a little toddled on in a choir boy outfit and sang "Oh, for the Wings of the Dove" with the massive organ in the Royal Albert Hall. Very much the peak of my career, tragically.
Yeah. Jonathan, can you bring in a photo next week of what you used to look like?
Probably. I'm not sure you want it.
Yeah.
You were so
Let's find
cute.
that. That's good. Oh, he just so happens next to his doctor's use book, he has an album full of photos of when he was little. How lucky are we?
In his Doctor Zeus book, it's just photos of him.
Fact 3 obviously related to Harriet, who hobbled away from hospital when told they needed to have their leg put in plaster because they were going to a rave that night. Oh, look.
Oh,
Dressed as a
Jonathan.
princess.
That a crown on you?
Who's that girl?
Yeah.
My mother crocheted me a wig, and I've got a little foil crown, and that's a bridesmaid's dress, so I could dress as a princess because I liked to dress as a princess when I was very small.
Oh,
But I still do. Let's be
look
honest.
at that. So Harriet, how long before you went back to have your leg put in plaster?
No, I never did. It's the winter months that I feel it the most. No, it is.
When I
It, like,
anyway, right. We've come to the end of this week's.
Oh, so quick.
It's been fabulous as always. If you're watching this, please share it so we can get more viewers of this absolute nonsense that we are spanking. It's always a pleasure to be with these three. We love ending the week on a Friday night, going into the weekend with lots of laughs and lots of stupidity and a little bit of learning as well. What was that? Anyway, we've been loving. Love Dev, what you got coming up this week?
I got the UK pun off. It's on Sunday. Guess we've got Philip Simon and David Luck.
Lovely.
So, yeah, on Facebook.
Jonathan?
I've got Jonathan Reed, but I've also got Bradford Pride doing an online gig at the end of July, so it's coming up quite a way. But you can get tickets for that. I'll find a link for next week.
Fabulous. And Harriet?
the same thing I do every week. My mental health show. And then this week I've got, who's on it this week? Alfie Brown, Ola, and who else is on? Martha Breyer. She's brilliant. So yeah, good lineup. Me, be fantastic. Wednesday.
You've also got travelling to do in between all that as well. Quarantine. I'm here Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Check out our Facebooks, etc. Thank you. We've been Spouting Nonsense. Good night.
Good night. Bye.